Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Divine Feminine Healers podcast. It is your host, Angelica, and today I'm going to give a quick little energy update on what is going on astrologically. So if you follow anyone who talks on astrology and referring to Western astrology, that I'm sure that you've already heard, there's a huge transit that just happened this week. Pluto has been in the sign of Capricorn since 2008, and just a couple days ago, so around November 19th, Pluto is moved into the sign of Aquarius, where he will remain for the next 20 years. Now, Pluto is the planet it's an outer planet, so some of us may feel less connected to the outer planets, and sometimes we feel certain planets like Saturn and Jupiter because they're bigger a little bit more. And there's also something to be said is that we feel certain transits more based on the signs that they rule. So Pluto rules Scorpio. So if you have strong Scorpio placements, you'll probably feel Pluto transits more. And then of course, depending on what signs Pluto has been in, if it's relative to certain signs that you have strongly in your chart, you may also be feeling these transits. Now, Pluto is a planet that represents death and rebirth and transformation. So it's very much related to what is our relationship to our own inner metamorphosis process. You know, when you first go into the spiritual world and you think that you've had this big transformation and that's it, you're changed for life. And then you realize it was the first one of many and many and many to come. So with this harsh ego death and stepping into a new beginning process, it's not for the faint-hearted. So Pluto is kind of this no bullshit type of planet. And it's been in the sign of Capricorn. So if you have strong Capricorn or Earth signs in your chart, you probably felt this transit a lot. A good place to start is to reflect where you were in 2008. What lessons started to arise? What worlds did you start to enter? And how has this shifted now in 2024. Now, that is a huge journal prompt to just reflect on the past 20 years. Now, if you want to get a little bit more clearer on how this could have affected your life, because I don't know about you, but so much has changed in my life in 20 years, I don't even really know where to begin. You can see where Capricorn is in your natal birth chart. In our natal birth chart, we have each of the signs. So you can see what house Capricorn is in, and that is the house that you've experienced the most transformation, the most Plutonian energy for the past 20 years. So reflect on what has shifted. And as a whole, Capricorn rules systems, represents authority, represents hard work, effort, dedication, practicality, living in reality. And a lot of our old systems, our old ways of being and structures have changed in some way, shape, or form. So this is a really good way just to kind of reflect on like, wow, I am not that same person that I was before. And now I have a completely new perspective. I have a completely new way of being and living that is so beautiful. And it's providing me so much more freedom than it did before. Now, as Pluto moves into Aquarius, and I just led a Reiki healing experience, which was so beautiful. We had a lot of Aquarian message come up. If you would like to receive the recording of that Reiki healing experience, you can just send me an email. I'll have my email below in the show notes, and I'll be happy to send you that Reiki healing experience and share more of these messages that came through. But overall, Aquarius is a very creative sign. It's an independent sign, and it is wants to come up with creative solutions and really think outside of the box. This is so different than Capricorn energy that's very structured, practical, reality. Aquarius is very entrepreneurial. It's very, how out there can I really think? So I think this is going to be such a great and light shift for us. And on the personal level, it's going to be related to our death and rebirth cycle. So when we're able to let go of our ego and we're able to step into a new beginning, for me personally, I resonate more with having that kind of Aquarian type of energy of independence and being more creative in that process rather than Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign. So it's kind of like opposing energies to go through a transformation, but then want to feel grounded and want to feel grounded in practicality and bring reality to it. I feel like it can feel like a lot harsher. So with the Aquarius energy, I do feel like on the personal level, it'll feel a bit more easeful. I mean, as easeful as any transformation process can really be. And what's also really interesting about Pluto and Aquarius is there's a lot of themes around the collective. Pluto also represents more of the collective experience, and so does Aquarius. Aquarius represents our connection to our community and the collective experience as a whole. So I think we're going to see a lot of stems starting to crumble, which I know a lot of us have already been talked about, and we've been saying in one way or another. And with Aquarian, it's kind of setting the stage for a whole new way of being in this whole new age that we're stepping into. And a lot of you as healers, lightworkers, intuitives have already been pulsating and feeling this new wave of healing and needing a new system and needing just like looking at a world and being like, this just feels so different than what my personal experience has been, and the healing that I've done. It just feels like some of these systems are so archaic. Well, we have a 20-year time period now where we're going to start to see these crumble, and what's on the rise is going to be our healing modalities. It's going to be rooting in your soul-centered mission and the correct people rising to the power, who are not in power to take away other people's power or to control other people, but they're in power to empower other people to be their authentic selves, so that we can all work with each other to help each other grow and to collectively raise the vibration of this planet, which is a really beautiful sentiment. So I'm really excited for Pluto and Aquarius. Now, Pluto and Aquarius will remain at 0 degrees until December 30th. So when the planet is at 0 degrees, it's said to have, not its strongest qualities. It's still kind of in this like dreamlike state of going from the last sign into the new sign. So you may still start to see a lot of that Capricorn lessons and cycles starting to close as you begin to really enter into the new ones. And of course, this is going to be felt differently depending on what signs really rule your chart. In our Reiki healing experience, we just had one of our students who her rising sign is Aquarius. So she literally felt like, my God, the next day I woke up and I literally felt like there was a shift in the energy. She's feeling this a lot more because she has a strong Aquarius placement. Now, if you have a Leo placement, you'll also be feeling this because Aquarius and Leo are on an opposing axis with each other. So they mirror a lot of their energies. So a lot of the lessons in Pluto and Aquarius, Leo will be feeling as well. And if you are an air sign, not just having Aquarius in your chart, of course you'd be feeling this transit. But if you have a lot of air signs, you will be feeling this because there is this Aquarius is an air sign, and it's going to be ruling a lot of the energy that is shifting right now. Okay, so what else do we have to come? The sun will move out of the shadowy aspects of Scorpio into the lightness of Sagittarius on November 22nd. For a lot of us, this is going to feel like a lot of relief. I love Scorpio energy. As you know, if you listen to my podcast, I love Scorpios in general, but it can feel a lot like heavy lifting when you're going through the shadow work and you're seeing the ugly and it's like, it's heaviness. So we're shifting out of that into the lightness of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is, if you don't have them in your life, I have a lot of Sagittarius in my life, and I love that energy. They're so positive. They're so optimistic. They are adventurous. They want to explore. They want to try new things. And it's kind of like shaking up the energy a little bit and finding spontaneity again. So this is a really good time of year to do that. This is like, okay, get out of your little rituals and habits and things that are keeping you stuck and like break the norm. So I just did a post on this. If you like to set your intentions every month, I recommend doing them when the sun changes signs, because that to me feels more of like a change in energy that we experience. And a lot of my recommendations are around exploring a new topic that you've been wanting to explore, diving into a new project, book, course. Maybe this is planning a little bit of a weekend getaway or doing something different that's out of the norm for you. It's really shaking things up, and it's getting in touch with your spontaneous nature. So this will feel very lighthearted. And adventurous, and expansive. That is a lot what the Sagittarius energy tries to teach us, and independence too. A lot of us are going to be learning lessons of autonomy and doing things on our own, which is also another beautiful energy to be stepping into. The final transit that I'll talk about right now is Venus is in Capricorn. So Venus is a sign of relationships and love, but also money, and sensuality and pleasure. And so in the sign of Capricorn, it's bringing practicality to these areas of our life. So it may be a time to kind of clean up your budget, to look at your finances, to kind of ground in reality of where you are at in these pleasurable experiences in your life, and how you want to grow and evolve them in a really practical, structured, grounded, disciplined way. That's what Capricorn energy is. It's an earth sign. It keeps us grounded. It keeps things structured. So if you've been kind of feeling those little pulses to work on a budget or get your finances in order, or maybe it's even like a love relationship that you have and just kind of like ground in reality a little bit, this is a really good cycle. And Venus has been in Capricorn since November 11th and will remain there until December 10th. I'm sorry, December 7th. So those are the major transits that are happening right now. And of course, some of us are going to feel these transits a little bit more than others. A really good way of knowing that is just to look to see which planets rule your chart. So look at your sun, moon, and rising sign. This is a really good way to start, and see which planets rule those signs. So for example, if you are ruled mainly by Mars energy, you'll have a lot of Aries and Scorpio placements. If you're ruled by Venus, you're going to have a lot of Taurus and Libra placements. If you're ruled by Mercury, Gemini, and Virgo. If you're ruled by the moon, Cancer placements. If you're ruled by the sun, Leo placements. And if you're ruled by Jupiter, Sagittarius, and Pisces placements. And lastly, if you're ruled by Saturn, having Aquarius and Capricorn placements. So whichever planets you see majority in your chart, when you hear about those transits, you're probably going to be experiencing them a lot more than others. So for example, I have a lot of Mars energy in my chart, so I usually feel a lot of the Mars transits a lot more than the Venus transits, and the Venus transits go quick. Some of you who are ruled more by the sun and you have a lot of Leo placements, you may feel the sun transits a lot more than maybe the moon if you have more Cancer placements. So this is also just like a good thing to look at, because I know for myself, sometimes I follow certain transits and I'm like, ugh, there's a lot of different energies to follow. There's a lot going on astrologically pretty much at any given time. So it's important just to kind of take what really works and resonates with you and kind of leave the rest behind. Okay, that is all I have for an astrological update. Exciting news, I will be leading another Reiki 1 and 2 online certification program starting in December. And this is a hybrid course and live program. The course is you're going to learn how to read energy and become a successful Reiki healer. And then in our live sessions, you will be able to receive the Reiki attunement and being able to practice on each other, and then of course get all of your questions answered. So if you are interested in joining our Reiki 1 and 2 program in December and becoming a Reiki healer, then you can send me an email, angelica@angelicarosemary.com. And this is, you know, I usually attract a lot of healers who have been in the physical healing realm, either as therapists, counselors, yoga instructors, or fitness instructors. They've worked with the physical body, but you're really wanting to go deeper into your spirituality. And you're like, there's so much more beyond our health than our physical body. Like there's a mental, emotional, and spiritual body. And I just want that depth more to share with my clients. Well, Reiki is such a powerful modality to start bringing that into your business, and it just integrates seamlessly, and it's so fun and brings so much more fulfillment. So if that's the place that you're in right now and you're deeply considering Reiki 1 and 2 certification, I'll happy to send you more info. Just shoot me an email, angelica@angelicarosemary.com. I'll have that linked in the show notes. And I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. Just being with friends and family and just taking a time just to have gratitude as we begin to close out this year. I will have a podcast episode coming out next week. And until then, I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day.